Game week 14 is here, so it's time to finalise those FPL teams. Welcome to FPL Mate, my name is Dan. A quick turnaround until the next game week, which means a Tuesday deadline. We've got another green arrow and we've got to keep it going. So yes guys, another really nice green arrow for me with 85 points. This isn't 100% final because I am recording this on Sunday evening, and we know sometimes the points and the ranks do change a little bit, but this is pretty much where I'm going to be at in terms of my points. That Salah, Palmer and Saka trio absolutely dominating, doing really well in game week 13. Really happy with those players. Bruno Fernandes coming in clutch as well, and who expected a Gabriel goal and assist, substituted at half-time, no clean sheet points, and yet still doing really well for the FPL scoring. The same can't be said about my forwards, 1.2.2 point for those guys, but I'm sure we've got plenty to say about them moving forward. But overall, we've moved up rank to around 400,000, so another big green arrow. The wild card from game week 12 continues to pay those dividends, so really happy with where we're at and hoping that we can continue to push forward. Up and up the ranks we go. When we'll stop, nobody knows. And guys, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you do drop a like. It would be massively appreciated. Do subscribe as well if you're new around here. You want to follow along with my FPL team each game week, but we got to see what moves we're going to make in game week 14. And for game week 14, I do have 2 free transfers. Not too much money in the bank, but there's plenty we can do with what we've got. So I do have some ideas that I want to share with you today. But first of all, let's throw the goalkeeper on the team sheet, and that is going to be Bruno once again, the 4.5 million man. Now, I do have Fabianski as a backup, but I'm not sure I really want to go there at the moment. I do worry constantly about Areola playing, and is Leicester away an amazing fixture? It's pretty good, don't get me wrong, but not enough that I trust West Ham over Brighton right now, who have been reasonably good in recent weeks, not conceding too many chances, and I think Verbruggen's save points and clean sheet points will come in the coming game weeks. I'm not a fan of rotating goalkeepers generally, but I wouldn't blame people for going with Fabianski this week, but I just don't think it is for me. Going into my defense, we have got Gabriel, and I know a lot of people are worried about him, and we have got some quotes here from Mikel Arteta, and apparently this was just the substitute in game week 13 was just to protect him because of the issue that it already exists. Nothing to do with concussion. It was not a concussion substitute. So hopefully, same as we seem to have every week, we will just have nothing from Arteta, but the player ends up playing anyway. We know we're not going to get any news from Arteta, so we kind of just have to hope for the best here. But given that the substitute was precautionary to give him some extra rest, with the game pretty much tied up by that point, ready to go in the next big fixture against Manchester United. And by the way, Arsenal, really good clean sheet odds against Manchester United. I know it seems like a tougher fixture, but Arsenal consistently dominating those clean sheet odds from game week to game week. So it looks really good for them as well, for anyone who is considering buying more Arsenal defensive assets for their FPL team. But of course, with Gabriel, we want those attacking returns as well. Our next defender is going to be Ryan Aït-Nouri, and a game against Everton is always an opportunity for a clean sheet. I know it didn't quite happen for Aït-Nouri last week with his 0-pointer, but nevertheless, we move on. Hopefully, Wolves won't concede another 3 penalties this game week, because that is absolutely crazy. But Everton, nice fixture for a defender, and also maybe the possibility of some attacking returns if he does get some opportunities further up the pitch. But looking forward to seeing what he can produce here. Very rare I'm confident in a Wolves clean sheet, but occasionally you look at it and you think, hey, this is possible, isn't it? And Kirkez is going to be my final defender in my starting a lineup. A goal last game week, didn't expect that. I benched him last week, which was really frustrating. I chose to go with Aït-Nouri over him, 7-point difference. I decided I wanted to go all in on Wolves because I have Cunha as one of my forwards, and thought, I just think we'll leave Kirkez on the bench. Let's go for the maximum amount of points, despite the fact I even have been saying in my videos that I thought Kirkez was probably a better pick for game week 13, but that is in the past. The good thing is I already have Kirkez in my FPL team. Now, am I expecting a clean sheet against Spurs? To be honest, Probably not, but you never know what might happen. I don't think Kirkes is a buy this game week necessarily, but there's always a chance of a clean sheet. You never know where they're going to come from in FPL these days, and certainly for attacking returns, Kirkes seems to be doing quite well at the moment. He is one of the more attacking defenders in the Premier League and is coming with some form and some confidence, which I do definitely appreciate in an FPL asset. But maybe I have some concerns in that area of my field. I think that is probably the weak point in my team, or certainly one of the weaker points in my team. Let's go into the midfield. Certainly not a weak point is Mo Salah. Another goal and an assist in game week 13. Those penalties are very, very useful, aren't they? Newcastle up next. Not expecting as much from this fixture as maybe in previous fixtures, because an away game is never ideal. But Salah and Liverpool, you do back them against anyone. Is it going to be a battering? I don't know if it will be quite that severe, but certainly Salah should do pretty well indeed. Cole Palmer is also in my team here. He faces Southampton, another player with a goal and an assist at the weekend, coming in with some form, and I think Palmer is a serious player for this game week. He is not a player I would be wanting to be without in this game week. I know some people captained him last week. I would definitely be thinking about doing that all over again for game week 14, which brings us to my next midfielder, who is Saka. Now, Saka faces Manchester United at home. Having watched Manchester United since Amorim has been at the club, I am more and more confident that they're not going to be a great defence. It is basically my thoughts here. So I do think Saka combining with Ødegaard once again, making those runs, Ødegaard unlocking the Manchester United defence. I think there is going to be more opportunities for Saka here. So if you haven't got him already, I would make him one of your priority buys for this week. I know it doesn't look like a great fixture on paper, but I think the matchup is actually pretty good for Arsenal and Saka. I would not let a clean sheet against Everton fool anyone into thinking any team is a good defense. We've seen it from Brentford recently as well, haven't we? And also we're hoping to see it from Wolves this week with a clean sheet against Everton. They just can't attack. We know this by now. Which brings us to the other side of that particular derby. Bruno Fernandes is my final midfielder in my team. And I don't know how to feel about this one. On one hand, 2 assists was really nice in game week 13, but set piece assists, I thought maybe he wasn't as involved as I would have hoped that he would be in that game, which is a little disappointing, but it's not disappointing to get the points. So it's kind of bittersweet. I enjoy the points that I got from him, but moving forward, I'm not sure what to think about him. Is he someone who should be replaced? I know a lot of Mbeumo owners are going to be looking to replace Mbeumo with Bowen or Mitoma potentially there as well. But honestly, I'm not convinced that those players are upgrades on Fernandes. Now, trying to find some reason to keep Fernandes, Arsenal have conceded a few chances from those set pieces this season. So Fernandes being on all those set pieces is pretty nice. And after Arsenal, we have Nottingham Forest, who maybe have dipped in form a little bit, Manchester City, who are not in a good place right now. And after that, the United fixtures are actually pretty good. So do I want to bet against a nailed-on player with reasonably good underlying numbers, continuing to play in an attacking position, at least? You know, there's a lot behind Bruno that makes him a very reliable FPL pick, and I don't know if I improved my team by going for a Bowen or Mitoma. If I have had other transfers in mind and needed to free up some cash, then yeah, absolutely. But Bruno's fine. Like, he is okay. He's a fine player to own, and he's not much more you can ask for than nailed minutes, all set pieces and penalties, and decent underlying numbers. There's not very many players that can provide that. So even in the less than ideal fixtures, he's fine. He's okay, I think. So I think we're going to keep Bruno. I just can't see myself making a transfer there. Which brings us to our forwards. Now, Isak is a really interesting one because, as I'm sure you'll be aware, he is flagged. He did take an impact injury, not a muscular injury in game week 13. So there is a chance he does recover for Liverpool. But here's my thinking. Even if he doesn't recover for Liverpool, then we have Brentford, Leicester and Ipswich after that. Liverpool is the bad fixture. If I wanted Isak to miss any fixtures, it would have been this one. So can I just cover him? I have Rodgers on my bench, who plays against Brentford at home. Is it just okay to just have Isak? If it works out, fine. If it doesn't, I'll have Rodgers off my bench. Maybe I just start with Rodgers and bench Isak for 1 week. Because I know a lot of people will be saying, Dan, you need to swap Isak for Nicholas Jackson. And there seems to be, you know, some reason to do that. I understand that transfer move. But Jackson in 14, amazing. Southampton, great fixture. After that, well, I like Isak's fixtures better. Jackson will face Spurs, Brentford and Everton. Isak will face Brentford, Leicester and Ipswich. Isak has the superior fixtures. Isak is the penalty taker. I think Isak is probably better for minutes over this period as well. We know about Jackson's yellow card situation. 1 more yellow card, he will be suspended. We also see with Chelsea is that they do rotate in the midweek fixtures. Is that going to happen with Chelsea? Is it going to happen with Jackson? We have to acknowledge the possibility. Now, if you think, you know, Jackson's going to be fine, he'll play every game, and actually, I think Isak is a bit overrated, that's absolutely fine. Everyone is going to have their own opinion on this one, but I prefer Isak as a pick. That's why I picked him, and I think I want to stick with him, honestly, but I totally get if people wanted to move to Jackson. I would totally understand that. I just don't think it is a move for me. Which brings us to our other forwards. Cunha here, away against Everton. It could go okay. I like that Cunha can create something from nothing, which might be needed against Everton. Even against United, they didn't concede too many dangerous chances. And Man United, maybe, you know, that 4-goal scoreline maybe did complement them a little bit more than the actual game showed. So Everton I still consider to be a reasonably good defence in the Premier League. It's after that where I'm really excited for Cunha. But again, another nailed on player, set pieces, penalties. He has a lot of the things that we love. So he's going absolutely nowhere, and he's going to start in this game week for me. João Pedro, another penalty taker, little rest at the end of game week 13. A disappointing blank, but he is still a player I have a lot of faith in, and I'm sure a lot of you guys will agree with that one. For his price, he is absolutely phenomenal, so he's going nowhere. Going on to my bench here, Fabianski we mentioned, he is going to stay on the bench for me. Rodgers is here as well. Really nice backup for Isak. Would I really be that convinced by Rodgers to play him over Isak and Fernandes if there wasn't any injury concerns? I don't know. I feel like Rodgers is almost designed to be a bench player at that kind of price and his kind of involvement. Great for his price, but he's not better than all of these penalty-taking attackers that I do have in my team. Digne played 90 minutes in game week 13, which does worry me a little bit for game week 14. It's a frustrating one with Digne. I don't know when I can play him and when I can't. I want to play Digne after he's just been rested, but that hasn't been the case. So in a way, I'm hoping that he is rested for game week 14 and then plays against Southampton in 15, because that would be really, really nice. We do have Lewis Hall here as well on my bench, but looking through my defenders, I do have one potential idea, one of many ideas. So obviously we mentioned Fernandes to a Bowen or a Mitoma, not sure it's worth it. Isak to a Jackson is a possibility, but again, I feel like I want to be patient because I prefer Isak from 15 onwards. But the defenders, well, Digne, if he's causing me problems, 4.7 million, can I replace him with someone? I can afford Joe Gomez at 4.8 million. I could maybe go to a West Ham defender. In yesterday's buy, sell, keep, avoid video, we spoke about some West Ham defenders. Obviously, they've got really nice fixtures coming up. And Emerson as well, in particular, has really nice attacking numbers and has been taking all of those set pieces for West Ham. So I wonder if Emerson, the form he's in, the fixtures look good for West Ham. Are they a great defense? No, but if I continue my trend of targeting those attacking defenders, he could be really nice for this game week. This could be pretty interesting, actually. So I'm certainly considering going for Emerson in for Digne for these fixtures against Leicester and maybe Wolves next week. Maybe, we'll see. And he also does cover some game weeks later down the line where I might need a defender. Very cheap price tag, not too much risk. The only thing, is it worth a transfer? Should I just play Kirkes? And right now I'm thinking could just play Kirker. So watch this space, guys. We will keep you updated on the channel what my final moves will be if I make any. But right now, I don't think I have enough problems to really justify going in on a transfer. When in doubt, do nothing. That is often my motto. And we are going to be captaining Cole Palmer this week against Southampton. I think that makes a lot of sense. Vice captain is gonna go on Salah, but I'm tempted by Saka as well. Any of these big three midfielders would be great captains this week, I think, but Palmer is my final choice, targeting that really, really nice fixture that he has in front of him. So that is my team right now. Looking at my team on Fantasy Football Hub right now, it's still really good, 99% team rating, so we've still got a really nice high team rating despite the flags on Gabriel and Isak. So that's really, really useful to know. I have a feeling I won't be recommending any transfers, but I'm curious to see what the AI transfers are going to say for me. Really love this tool, by the way, to give you suggestions. And there we go. We recommend making no transfers this week. It is recommending that I roll. So, guys, definitely check out this tool. You can still get 30 days for free using their Black Friday deal. So don't miss out on that one. You get full access to all of their tools, which are absolutely incredible, and get your recommendations of what to do with your team. Really, really useful for suggestions. And actually, to be fair, one of the things I did see on Hub was kind of looking through, let's see here, points predictions, looking through the forwards points predictions over the coming game weeks. Isak is still predicted higher points than Jackson over the next 4 game weeks. You can see here, Isak slightly higher than Jackson for predicted points. So although this is not a definitive guide, I think it's really useful to see, is it worth a transfer? And I think this backs up that the data suggests that this is probably not worth a transfer going for Jackson. But I suppose we'll see what happens exactly there. I'm pretty happy with my team in general, so I think we're going to stick with what we've got. But if you've got any suggestions of what you would do with my team, I would love to hear some of your thoughts as well as any other questions you have for Game Week 14. But guys, make sure you do drop a like before you go. Do subscribe if you're new around here. Check out Fantasy Football Hub using the link in the description, and I will see you tomorrow for the 100 experts video. I'll see you later, mates. Bye bye.